Hey everybody, Jason Chatham here at River Crossing Church, my church in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And today I wanted to take a little bit of time to share with you a song I wrote entitled, "The Lord Reigns." You know, I wrote this song a few months ago, and in the season that I've been in, the Lord has really been refreshing my heart with the language of the Psalms. And you know, what's really great about the Psalms is that they provide us this amazing vocabulary for worship. I was digging through the Psalms and I came across Psalms 96, which is actually one of my all-time favorite Psalms. And so I thought I'd share with you just the words of the Psalm before I actually teach you how to play The Lord Reigns. In Psalms 96, in verse 1, it says, "Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord and praise His name. Proclaim His salvation day after day. Declare His glory among the nations, His marvelous deeds among all peoples. For great is the Lord and most worthy of praise." It goes on to say in verse 6, "Splendor and majesty are before Him. Strength and glory are in His sanctuary. So ascribe to the Lord, all you families of nations. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due His name. Bring an offering and come into His courts. Worship the Lord in the splendor of His holiness, and tremble before Him all the earth." And then finally in verse 10, "Say among the nations, the Lord reigns." You know, it's a great and powerful declaration that God reigns and rules over all the earth and all the heavens. And it's also an invitation for you and I to join in with that sound, to be drawn into that sound of worship, to lift up our voices, to make a joyful sound, to glorify God, to celebrate, and to declare His glory and His splendor. And so I actually wrote the song as a means of invitation, and I typically would open a service with it just as a way to kind of draw people into the sound of worship. I wrote this song in the key of E, and typically I would play it with what we call cut capo on the second fret, which just allows me the ability to sort of stay open and to keep those chords nice and ringy and lush. But today I'm going to teach you how to play it in standard tuning, just using some simple chords. The song is really meant and intended to be really accessible and simple, so I wrote it just using a few chords and a verse, a chorus, and a verse. It's that simple. The first verse actually starts on an E, which is the root note or the tonic of the key we're playing in. And it just follows this simple chord structure: E, B, C sharp minor, A, E, B, and E. So it goes like this. "So come, let us sing to the Lord. Lift your voice and declare that He is good." So once again, E, and I like to kind of keep it open, so I use this kind of like root-shaped bar chord open, and I like to really allow that E and that B string to ring out. It just adds a really nice texture and just a nice quality to the song. And then from E to B, once again, like to let those E and B strings ring out, or drone as we call it. And then to the C sharp minor, you can play it like that, or you can move up if you'd like. I tend to prefer playing it like this because it just allows me to actually kind of move those bass notes without really moving too many fingers and not having to think too much, which is really helpful when you're leading people or when you're leading a song at a service or in a group setting. Not having to think and look at your hands and when you're moving is really helpful. It's also kind of a little Dave Matthews trick. If you've ever watched him play, he'll use a lot of inversions where he's changing the bass shapes and he's kind of keeping some of his fingers kind of rooted in that root position. So you can do it either way. And then, of course, the second half of the first verse follows the same structure. "Oh, come and draw near to our God. Lift your voice and declare His glory here." And you'll notice there, instead of going directly from that B or that 5 to the 1, I actually suspend it. For those of you that know your theory, and you definitely should, I suspend it on the A2, and then I go to the 1. And I suggest really learning your numbers if you haven't, because that always helps as well. And then, of course, the chorus starts on that A2. "The Lord reigns, the Lord reigns. The heavens shout that our God saves. So that's the first half of the chorus. So it goes A, E, C sharp, B, A, E, B. Just kind of hangs on that B, doesn't quite revolve yet, or resolve. And then it goes to the A2. The Lord reigns, the Lord reigns. Let's worship at His throne of grace. For He is here, now in His place. So let us praise. Lord, He reigns. All right. So that's the chorus. It's really simple. It's meant to be. And, I encourage you to try different variations on those chords. If you like bar chords or you like playing it, with kind of these open, higher chords, depending upon if you have a couple guitar players in the mix, you might want to kind of move up so that there's a little more space between you and the other guitar player. But it's really that simple. And the second verse really builds off those same chords: E, B, C sharp, A, E, B, E. And, of course, building on that theme, "Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord, lift your voice and declare His holy name," just borrowing once again from the wonderful and beautiful language of the Psalms. And then one final note is that I typically like to add a few O-O-Os or a few whoa-O-Os, and it's just sort of a nice way to breathe some life into the song during those breaks or those instrumentals or interludes. And if you have a chorus, or I should say if you have a choir with you or a group of vocalists, it's really a fun way to kind of get them joining in, and just adds a lot of power to the song. Essentially, I do it over 3 chords: E, C sharp minor, and A2. And sometimes I'll just go E right to that A2. And you can do it either way, but I'll show you how I typically do it. Oh, wow, oh, wow, ah, ah, oh, wow, oh, wow. So I showed you both ways, the E to C sharp minor to A, or just the E to A. Like I said, you can do it however you prefer. It's a great way to just add just another level and another kind of texture of dynamics and intensity and passion to the song. I pray that this song would just greatly bless you as you sing it, as you lead it, as you play it and practice it. And of course, that you would just continue to know that our God reigns and that He is awesome and worthy of praise. Thanks for joining me for this tutorial, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.